Darcey and Georgi have huge news and they are literally telling everyone. Can you guess what it is? No, y'all, they are not pregnant. No. They did not secretly go off and get married. You guys will never guess. Guess what? Georgi finally finalized his divorce. Yeah, that is the big news. On the first episode of Darcey and Stacey, the whole entire time, Darcey was running around telling her family, telling her mom, telling her dad, literally telling everyone, singing it from the mountaintops, that her and Georgi have this huge news. And they seriously sat down, her mom and dad, who are divorced, had dinner with them. Georgi got the dad a gift, got the mom a gift. They sat them down, so we had this huge big announcement. And yeah, the announcement is that Georgi got a freaking divorce. Well, great. The guy who is engaged to Darcey and has been engaged now for like 2.5 months finally finalized his divorce. Fantastic, great news. This show is so stupid, but for some reason, I still really enjoy it and find it hilarious. Yes, guys, the first episode of Darcey and Stacey was on not so long ago. It was actually, I don't know why I even say this, it was pretty good. It was like, yeah, I love this show so much. I'm sorry, but I do. This is what we got to see. Like I said, we got to see this big announcement. The first half of the episode, Darcey was just skipping around, that they had this big announcement, this big good news, this big thing. And I thought there was a chance that they were going to have a baby, but I thought honestly what probably happened is they snuck off and got married, and that's what I just figured. But nope, he just finalized his divorce, that's all. Nothing big, nothing even, remotely big whatsoever, not really exciting. So we got to see that. Yeah, the episode actually started off with Georgi and Darcey getting into a huge fight. It was 48 hours after he proposed. Darcey was questioning him. He wasn't really answering. I feel like honestly they were both just wrong. They couldn't see eye to eye. They were having issues. He ran off. Then Darcey started crying. The typical Darcey, hamster wheel of her drama. Then she started crying. Then she got mad. Then okay, the whole thing. So yeah, that happened. And then we just fast forward 2 months into the future, and they were doing well. They got. I don't know if they went to therapy or what happened, but they were like totally were admitting their issues. He was saying he was never good at communicating, and he's working on it, and he was saying all like a really good stuff that you'd want to hear from the guy. Like, it seemed like he was admitting his faults, I guess, and they're trying to make it work. So they were happy. Well, once we fast forward 2 months into the future, they're happy. They're still like living in this apartment hotel thing, which I don't understand how or why that works, because I know, if you don't already know, that Darcey's dad bought Darcey and Stacey their own house. We've seen the house. It's a very nice house. Darcey's 2 kids live there, I guess, when she has them, and then maybe when their actual dad has them, they just go back and forth. And I think it's the same thing with Stacey's kids. Stacey's kids are not on the show, but Darcey's are. My whole question is, okay, Darcey moved, she was living with Georgi, and Stacey's doing the same thing with Florian in these apartments. And then we got to see them in this episode actually move across the street to, of course, what do you think, bigger apartments, because that's exactly what those 2 people need, who have no jobs. But yes, they moved across the street and got a bigger apartment. But the $1 million question is, what do they do when the kids are at their house? Do they go back and forth? It really makes no sense. I know that their dad said, you cannot be bringing these guys in here, but I thought the condition was unless you got married. And I do know that Stacey and Florian, obviously, we all know they got married. So I'm kind of like, why are they still living in this apartment? It's very weird, very strange. Not really sure. I don't know what they do when the kids come around. So kind of bizarre and random, but if it works for them, it works for them. Still kind of weird. Florian, I guess I kind of get it, because it's like he's not really from here, but Georgi's from DC. So it's like he just packed up his whole life and moved over to Connecticut to be with Darcey. And then that is when the whole thing got really weird. I'll explain more what we got to see in the rest of the episode, but the one thing I want to talk about is at the end of the episode, it got all suspenseful and crazy and weird because Stacey was just trashing Georgi, and her reasonings were legitimate. The first reasoning was it was Darcey and Stacey. Obviously, they share a birthday. It was both their birthdays. They went shopping. They went to some store, some fancy kind of store, whatever. So they went to this store. They walked in, and they were limiting how many people can go in because of the pandemic and everything and social distancing. So only a couple people go in at once. And Darcey and Georgi went in together, and Stacey was mad about that because she couldn't go in. That was kind of childish, but the thing honestly gets kind of weird because then she even said that Georgi was pouting around saying he wanted something, but it was on Darcey's birthday. And so I guess apparently according to Stacey, and Darcey didn't deny it, that Darcey ended up buying him a huge fur coat on her birthday. So she bought him a coat, which it's like, with what money? But still, so either way, it's like, what? That is, like, shouldn't he be buying her something for her birthday? It seems kind of odd, kind of strange. We didn't get to hear Georgie's side, but it did kind of sound like that was childish and like he almost is kind of using her for money. So that was interesting, but the really icing on the cake that I could not believe, which it's either really not that big of a deal or it is gigantically huge and just kind of crazy, is Darcey was cleaning their apartment that they both share because they live in an apartment together, and she found a sock filled with $1,400 in cash. I'm not a cash guy, because who needs cash? It's like, what? Unless, yeah, that, like, literally, why would you have cash? Why would someone have $1,400? It's not like he had, you know, like $140,000, but it's like, why would you even need, like, that's a lot of cash to have, and then to have it in a sock hidden in an apartment, that's kind of fishy. My first question was, why doesn't the guy put the money in the bank? Like, why would he not go to a bank, put the money in there, then boom, we're all good, we're all happy. Why wouldn't he do that? And then so Darcey was saying he was gonna like use the money to pay off some credit cards, but she was still like, what about a bank? So I don't really know why he did it. That was a thing. That was at the end of the episode that caught my eye. I was like, wait, are you kidding me? Like that, I don't really, see, I could see why the guy would have $1,400 in cash, like sitting on a table or in his dresser or something kind of not where it wasn't totally hidden, but to have $1,400 in a sock and hidden, to me, that seems a little fishy. So I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think it is kind of fishy or suspicious, or do you guys think it's just the guy was hiding his money? Maybe he was hiding it from Darcey, but it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, where did he get the money from? Where did this guy get $1,400 in cash from? Why is it in a sock? And why is it not in a bank? And yeah, and why is it hidden? So it's really just this weird thing. And to me, it's incredibly suspicious. So the episode ended off of Darcey and Stacey talking to their two lady friends, and they were talking about this drama with the money and the fur coat and all this stuff, and Darcey wasn't denying any of it. She was kind of trying to defend him a little bit, but not a whole lot. She was just like, you know what, that is weird. We need to talk about it. It's a little strange. She never really got to the bottom of it, and I'm kind of like, I would just flat out ask the guy. He's literally moving into your new apartment right now. Walk up to the guy, ask him, why did you have $1,400 in cash in a sock hidden in our apartment? Kind of strange. And do you have a bank account? So I don't know. I thought that was weird. Comment below what you guys think. But for the rest of the episode, we got to just, yeah, you know, that was basically, you know, a lot of stuff we got to see. We got to see Darcey and Georgi together. They're still engaged. He got divorced. They're trying to make this relationship work. Darcey has all these unanswered questions of, you know, where the relationship is, what's going on, all that kind of stuff. She has no idea where they're really at, but they're doing relatively well. For Stacey and Florian, it is up, down, all over the place. Basically, I think I've kind of come to just a general idea that Florian is just kind of like a stubborn, ornery kind of a guy. That's it. And that's the best way to describe the guy. He's ornery. He's never real jolly happy. He's just kind of like always in a bad mood. He doesn't really want to be there. We got to see him taking some modeling pictures, and Stacey was behind the camera screaming. What's that saying? You know, a backseat driver. Okay, she was doing that. She was screaming, do this, do that. It was annoying, but he just went off on her and was telling her to shut up, and he was saying stuff you probably should not say on a regular basis to, you know, anyone, let alone your wife. So Stacey got mad. Stacey screamed at him. They kind of hashed it out, but you know, Florian was kind of also like, this is just my personality. So he's an ornery, grumpy kind of guy. I don't know if that's just for the show. Like, he never smiles. He never, ever, really ever laughs. He's just kind of there. It's really weird. I don't know. But for whatever reason, don't ask me why, I kind of think that Florian and Stacey, for whatever reason, are kind of like actually a relatively decent couple. And even Georgi, I think Georgi is a weirdo. And after the last episode with the money thing, it is weird, but I also am kind of still watching. It's like, you know what? They're kind of both crazy, and Darcey's, you know, by no means normal. So, but together, they kind of actually kind of work. And last but not least, like I said, we got to see her dad and mom. Nothing too huge there. They're both doing well on their own. Nothing too crazy there. But we did get to see Darcey's two kids. Like I said, Stacey's boys have never, ever been on the show once. They were never on 90 Day Fiancé. It must be that their father just doesn't want them to be on the show, probably. But Darcey's girls, they're always on it. They were on it again. And that was kind of like weird, and it was kind of sweet, but it was also kind of weird. I don't know what I think of that whole thing. Look, if there's one person I am rooting for in a positive way, it's Darcey's. It's both of them. Darcey's kids and Stacey's kids. Their kids, their parents are out, you know, off their rocker crazy. And so, yeah, I wish those people well. You know, they're young. I mean, they're like way younger than I realized. They're like 15, 16. They're very young. And they're in the middle of this 90 Day Fiancé world, and they have all this drama, and there's so much negativity circulating their mom and everything. So I bet it's a lot, and it probably probably is embarrassing at times, and I feel bad for them. They were on the show. I am still just wondering to this day, what is the situation with their whole living situation with if Darcey's in an apartment and they're like 15, 16, how does this thing all mesh together? It's just kind of weird and strange. So I don't know. It's like that to me was weird, but we did get to see Darcey talk to the kids. She was talking about their dating and this and that, and they have like almost like a sister bond. Like the two of them are actually sisters, but they almost treat, I don't know, they just almost treat Darcey, I feel like an older sister, because she doesn't act like a mom. Like she was giving them clothes and they were talking about boys and this. She does not act like some real serious mom, and some moms, mine included, are young at heart and they act like they're in their 20s, and Darcey's kind of one of them. So yeah, they have like this weird sister bond. I don't know if they're cool with the fact that she comes and goes. I don't know. Maybe Darcey lives at her house when the kids are there, and then when they go back to their dad's, she goes and sees Georgi. I don't know. I hope that's the case, because if she leaves those kids like with her mom or something, that to me, I would not be cool with that. Like that would really make me mad. So I don't know, I'm not really sure. The kids are doing relatively well. They actually kind of seem to like being on the show, it seems like. I hope that's the case. I hope Darcey isn't like forcing them or anything, because like I said, they're young and it's, I'm sure, embarrassing and awkward and weird to see your mom dating like 500 million different men and crying on national television all the time. Well, y'all, Darcey and Stacey, the first episode, I'm definitely, this is my new Monday night show. It's an hour, thank God. If this was 2 hours, I would not watch it. It's 1 hour, Monday night, nothing else is on. The Bachelor, stupid Bachelor. I'm so done with The Bachelor. I can't watch that show anymore. You want to talk about fake? I just cannot stand to watch that show anymore. So, this is my new Monday night show. I will be talking about it. I love this show. I don't know why, and I just kind of find it hilarious, and I am kind of curious, what is Georgi's deal? So comment below what you guys think. I am legitimately curious. Comment below what you guys think of that whole money sock situation. Maybe it's normal, maybe it's common, but I just feel like nowadays with you know, Venmo and everything else with money and online banking, it's like, why would this guy have cash? He is a massage therapist, so he could have got paid cash from that, but he actually told Darcey that he's not doing a lot of massage therapist stuff because of the pandemic. So kind of weird and strange and odd, and I don't really know what to think. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Tap that like button, hit the comments below, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.